That's a Spotlight on Sofa 92.7 FM. Yes, don't forget, as usual, Spotlight is the show where we try to dissect different issues, make analysis of things happening in her their own country. Don't forget, as usual, a lot of things are going down right here in our country, and we definitely need to kick against all of these issues. Today on Spotlight, we'll turn it to labor matters and also to policies in our dear country. Labor union has kicked against government policies. Do you know that labor union has kicked against government policy? What policies is that? The electricity issues that have been ravaging the country right now. A lot of people are calling for the 50%. The electricity companies, telcos are saying that NCC are giving the telcos that 50% hike in all of this conversation. And then we're wondering, how did we get to this point? What are the potential economic and social impact of all of this? And also one of the questions we'll also be looking at right here on the show. But the Nigeria Labour Congress has recently intensified its opposition to several government policies, highlighting concerns over their impact on the populace. A significant point of contention is the federal government allocation of 8 billion naira in the 2025 budget for a nationwide campaign to encourage electricity bill payment. Also, NLC has criticized these expenditures as unnecessary, argued that such funds could be better utilized to improve the power supply infrastructure, thereby naturally increasing public compliance with bill payments. In addition to all of this, we also have the electricity concerns, where NLC right now are mobilizing against a proposed 50% hike in telecommunication tariffs. Joining us right now to make further conversation on these issues is the Lagos State Chairman, Nigeria Labour Congress, Comrade Fumi Sassy. Comrade, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
And welcome to the show, Comrade.
Thank you very much. I greet all Nigerians that are listening to us now and everyone that is on course now.
All right, thank you very much, Comrade. Comrade, let's begin with this. Where was NLC when all these negotiations of these policies, from the electricity down to the budget allocation and all of this? Where was NLC when all of this? Were starting up when it started. Where was NLC?
Yeah, this is the point that NLC is trying to make, that the stakeholders and Nigerians, we should we are critical stakeholders and we should also be engaged, or we should be involved in whatever happens to us. You cannot shave our head in our absence. So we've never been engaged when government is taking all these decisions, and some policies that government is taking on our behalf, they are anti-people's policies. And they need to consult, they need to engage, they need to, extend some of, their conduct referendum or conduct extend some of their consultations before they take the decision. Sometimes when National Assembly want to assent to government policies, they will conduct, they will do a public hearing. They have been doing that in the past, but now it's like they have already abolished public hearing in whatever they are doing, and they believe that only the 460 member of the rep, that's the lower and the upper chamber, only them can take decision on our behalf. We are saying no, because the decisions they are taking on our behalf are decisions that does not have any positive impact or direct impact on our lives. They are the policies that will favor the rich and will continue to impoverish or suffer the poor. So that is why we are now saying that we are not involved in everything that happens to us in all the decisions that government is taking on our behalf. If you are, this is democratic dispensation.
Of course, I mean.
If democratic dispensation is government of the people, for the people, and by the people, who are the people? Ordinary poor masses are also the people. The fraction of those who are above the middle class is very, very minimal compared to the level of the people who are below. The GDP is below the middle class. So those who are below, the GDP is below the middle class, they also need to be considered. And that is why we are saying that it should be a government of inclusion. They are not including us in every decision.
But why? Why is it so?
When workers now, on behalf of the masses, speaks, we have been labeled to be an opposition. We are not an opposition. We cannot keep quiet. We continue to talk. We continue to also criticize all those policies of government that are anti-people's policy, that we continue to bring Nigerians and poor masses down. We will talk. And that is the stage where we are now.
All right, that's the stage where we are coming from the chairman of Nigeria Labour Congress right here in Lagos State. But then, is it not seems to be like medicine after death? I mean, is it not looking like medicine after death? I mean, after the state government has already pronounced what we have to do.
If it is medicine after death, why would the government not bring up all their own the projection? So government is taking this decision. If they are taking all this decision, definitely we have to criticize. There is nothing like medicine after death. It happens even in advanced countries. It happens even in countries that we know that they are technologically advantaged than us. When they see some policies of the government, they react. So there is nothing like medicine after death. We have to react. If government does not feel we are also important for them to, think about the situation where we are in Nigeria now, you remove subsidy on everything.
And then
there are still some countries, even those countries are like those countries that still borrow us, lend us money. Those countries, they still subsidize some aspects of things for their citizens.
Exactly.
They subsidize food items, but what does government subsidize for us in the country? Nothing. We are not lazy, but what we are saying that the increase in the inflation rate, the higher inflation rate, is it the making of these poor people, or the leadership, the failure in the leadership that has brought us to this level where we find ourselves? Should we still continue to be the one that will be at the receiving end? Nigerians are at the receiving end of the poor and maladministrations,
of course,
of government poor policies, of government insensitivity. Should we still continue? We have to talk. There is nothing like medicine after death. The implementation has not commenced. So, and we don't want that implementation of the 50% to commence. Also, NSC is raising an eyebrow against the Ministry of the Energy, budgeting 8 billion just for sensitization. Who are you sensitizing?
I'm telling you.
We are talking about, you are not, so many people does not have, what do we call it? They don't have
daily bread.
What to recharge their electricity. What do we call it? Remind me, please.
The prepaid meter.
They don't have it.
The prepaid meter.
Yeah. They don't have prepaid meters. Some people have paid for it for years, and yet they have not been supplied.
Exactly.
Government does not think
that's
along that line. That even in Ghana and some countries, even at the West Coast, West African coast, they supply the prepaid meter for their citizens free of charge. Free. And yet, people paid for prepaid meter, no prepaid meter.
I have a friend. I have a friend who for like 9 months now, I mean, he hasn't gotten, he has registered for him
So
in his compound.
that's the kind of thing that we are talking about. They are just, robbing all the kind of things that will make Nigerians to react. They are rubbing it on our faces. Are we fools? Are we daft?
What would
Are we
Nigeria?
morons
What would,
that will not talk, that will not challenge some of the government policies and government decisions? We will challenge them. We will talk. When it is time for us to applaud some of their policies, if they are good and have direct positive impact, we will applaud them. But those ones that are, on the north, we will challenge government.
I mean, what does the government now want Nigerians to enjoy? Do you know the cost of bread, cost of transportation? Even, I mean, the band A band, we know how much, the band A pays for electricity right now.
Tell me what has not gone up in the country. Even the water that we drink in the sachet water,
of course,
has gone up, has escalated. Everything. You go to the hospital, the same story. The transportation, the same story.
Exactly.
All the sector is just, the telecommunication sector, even the terrestrial television. You cannot watch the television again on the old band. They have already increased the prices of that one. That is on social and entertainment area. They have increased it even before now. So they just want to continue to press the neck of the poor masses.
And that's why we have the NLC.
Continue the oppression.
And that's why we have the NLC.
The rich people can afford it. And they are feeding fat on government resources. But what of those who does not have a direct survive and you live? And yet, you don't want people to survive. No.
What are the actions NLC is taking right now, comrade? What actions are you...
NLC has come out clear about it. That 50% increase, that is 10 to 50% rise.
Do you know that this means that...
once,
comrade, do you know that this means that 100
and
naira recharge
that
card...
Tomorrow they wake up, they will still come back and again and increase. Why can't you start from something low and say that, okay, we are adding 5% or we are adding 2% increase?
Fair enough,
you are starting from 15%, 50% increase.
And let me tell you that telcos...
What is our sin in this country?
Let me give you an update on
that. Is that a sin?
Let me give you an update on that.
From God,
comrade.
As a Nigerian.
Let me give you an update on that, comrade. Telcos are even saying that 50% tariff is insufficient for them. As of talking to you right now, they're saying it's insufficient for them, meaning probably they want more. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Do you know that all these telecommunications companies, ask them the year in, year out, how they declare their the audited accounts of their company? They post so much of, interest. They post so much of the success of their telecommunications company. And when you look at what they post, their audited account, you look at it that, telecommunication sector, they are really making it so big. So if they are making it so big, if they are posting so much of, making so much of interest and money.
And then signing, celebrities and, going big on celebrities and all, and then they're increasing the hike. Let's be real.
So if they are making so much of interest, so why are they now coming to now bring up those kind of lies or those kind of, because they have also seen that other sectors, they have increased the prices of goods and services. I just believe that is the more reason why they want to increase their own. They have seen an increase in the prices of goods and services in all other sectors. That is why the telecommunication, they want to inflict their own man-made pain on Nigerians. Not because they are posting losses, not because they are not making it so big, but because they just want to inflict pains. That's the way we have seen it. That they are now coming up with 50%. Who are the owners of these telecommunication companies? Who are they? A
All
foreign
right.
company that cannot do that where in their own origin, in their own countries, they cannot. Can those companies where they are originated from, can they post at once like that 50%?
50%,
Can
okay.
MTN do that in South Africa? And South Africans will agree. They will everywhere we born. So why will it now happen in Nigeria?
All
Why
right.
will it be Nigerians that will now take
So
that
far,
insult?
very
We will reject that insult.
coming from the
So
word.
that is why NSC is calling all of us to boycott. Let us do some kind of boycotting, even if it is for 48 hours, 72 hours. Let us see how they will feel the pain. After all, before the telecommunications companies, these mobile companies, before they have an inroad into Nigeria, we've been surviving. We survive.
And you think boycotting will, bring great results?
No, we want to humble them. Let us take some actions that will humble them, so that they too they will know that it's not only we are paying a lip service. We are saying it for them to also realize and feel the pain of Nigerians. If they too they are not living in the Jupiter, if they are living in Nigeria, and they are within the environment of Nigerians, they will know that already people have been overstretched. People have been overstressed. Stressed, overstretched to the more than their limits. So for them now to be bringing this kind of tariff on communication, and they know that communication is very key and important. And there is no day Nigeria, they don't make billions of dollars from Nigerians, all these mobile telecommunications.
All right.
Their sector, they make more money in the country than any other sector. And yet they still want to inflict this pain on Nigeria. Honestly, I don't know. If we have good leadership, it's our leaders that will stand up for Nigerians. Those who we also voted to represent us at the National Assembly, where is their position? Are they really standing for the people that voted them to go into office? Or they go there just for their own selfish interest? They stand for themselves. They don't stand for the poor people again, poor masses.
Have there been any conversation between NLC and the National Assembly or the Senate?
Have they ever invited the NSC or any stakeholder? Have they ever invited us to any public hearing on things like this? Have they? Did we even see them engaged? Even those mobile telecommunication company, is it not through the back door that they are doing all these their businesses? Are we even sure that nothing has exchanged, nothing, for them to give this kind of 50% increase to telecommunications company? When does government starts to regulate the activities of the private
And even
like
the Senate and the National, they seems reluctant about it. Maybe because their phones are being recharged. It should be annually, or the government credits their phones.
That is what we are talking about. That he who bears it feels it. We are the one that are at the receiving end now. They are only we have so many allowances. It will not done on them now until when they leave that position and they come back to the floor like us. They become a normal person like us. Now, they are, some animals are more equal than animals. They are more equal than us, more equal than us now, because they are getting all the privileges and so many other things from the resources of Nigerians. But when the office is over, that is when it will dawn on them, and they will look back, and some of them always feel regret that they did not do the needful when they were there. But let us keep reminding them that people send them there. And also the people should, remain resolute. That some of the leaders that we send to go and represent us, if they are not doing well, or most of them, let us reprimand them. They can also be recalled back to those constituencies if they misbehave. They should not look at themselves as a teen god. You are there to go and serve. You are not there to go and, benefit yourself.
Mary,
Go and Provide services to humanity. Are you providing any services or support to Nigerians? Every aspect of the sector, they have already increased the prices of even the food that we eat.
That's true.
One onion, just few weeks ago, one onion cost us 1,000 naira during the Yuletide. So how do we now project that? How do we now allocate budgetary provision for food, for every other thing in our life, transportation, accommodation, health, education, and for every other thing, the social aspect of our life? How do we now allocate the money?
All right, Lagos, you can be part of this conversation. Call us on 0705 890 4927. 0705 890 4927. Also 0805 092 0927. 0805 092 0927. Don't forget you can send us messages via WhatsApp. You can send your message via WhatsApp 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 0927. We still have the Lagos State chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Comrade Fumi Sase, right here. All right, who's on the call? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, please call us back. 0705 890 4927. 0705 890 4927. Or 0805 0805 092 0927. 0805 092 0927. WhatsApp 0705 690 0927. All right, comrade. I mean, all of this, it's saddens our hearts. It really, we must say, saddens our heart how these are panning out. But still on this, how effective, I mean, has the NLC been in influencing government policies or policy changes in the past? How effective has the NLC been? Because at a point, it seems to be like the NLC were quiet. Not until this electricity tariff, electricity bill, and not until the telecom tariff hike, before we saw the sight of NLC again. How effective has NLC been, in influencing government policies?
Yes, we have seen that in the recent past, there were some decisions that government, brought out.
All right, comrade. Okay, go ahead, comrade. We had a caller there.
They brought out some policies, and after the criticism from Nigerians, and most especially being spearheaded by Nigeria Labour Congress, the government, through the leadership, have a rethink and step down some of those of their policies, and also the National Assembly, like the one that just happened recently about the proposed tax policy. You see how Nigerians, how they criticize the tax policy, and also Labour ask that government give more time for consultation. If there has been no criticism from angles to that, probably that tax policy will have seen the light of the day by now. That is why we said that government need to consult widely. They need to engage the people. They need to make the people that you are bringing policies on or for, you need to allow them to understand what your policies are meant to achieve. What your policies are, how is going to be, operated. Is it policies that will have any impact, or that will inflict more pains on the citizens? So that is why we said that we have the assemblies. But our assemblies, they don't need to run the government as if it is a secret society or it's a secret affairs. Let there be more consultation, engagement, open door policies, and also sometimes in all these countries that are advanced countries,
Yeah.
before they bring up a policy or they adopt a policy, they will even seek for public opinions. They will take a survey. They will do research.
That is even very important.
How many of these our government does? Do they have consultants? Do they have people who, pass on the opinions of do they seek the opinion of the people? Does it matter? Our people, do we matter to the government?
But why is it
If
so?
we are so important to the government who rules us, definitely they're supposed to get our opinion. The opinion of the people matter. In abroad, when they seek for opinion of the people, and at the end of the day, the opinion of the people is against a policy, government will not go through that route.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but in Nigeria, do they seek for opinion of people? Does not count. Only few people rules us, and this is what we are talking about. You don't rule the people like an emperor. You have to, run a government of inclusion.
It's not more democratic then. I mean, it's not more democratic then. Hello. Good morning. Do we have a caller on the line? Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. Oh, no, Minister.
All right. What? Good morning. Who is on the line, please?
My name is Setu.
From where? We're calling from where, please?
Yeah. I'm calling from Apapa.
All right. Please go ahead. Make your comment, please.
I can't go for a program like this because we don't have a government. We have a wicked government. We don't care for masses. We don't care for the people that come to man's club. In a country like this, nobody can go to market and buy something to combo. Hello?
Well, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I can hear you.
And farmers are not able to go to farm and do anything. It is that same government that some of those sponsor the Boko Haram. They kill the farmers, and there's nothing can work. Okay, the electricity bill, electricity making more gain, congregation making more gain. They still want to increase it. Are we still in our government are killing us physically and spiritually. It was okay if you come back to buy something in Nigeria, you cannot buy anything again, even school fees, nothing can pay. As you cry out, they will not help you.
All right. Thank you very much for that. It says government is killing us physically and also spiritually. I don't understand the spiritual aspect though, but okay, yes, you can call us 0705 890 4927. 0705 890 4927. Who do we have there? Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm calling back, Mr. Razak from Amukoko.
All right, Mr. Razak, from where?
From Amukoko.
From Amukoko. Please make your comment.
Yeah. About the increasement on the early communication. Nobody should blame them. It's not their fault. Because look at the way everything going up. Nobody talk when the government, the president received subsidy. Nobody talk against it. Everything increased. So they have to fuel their generator. They have to pay some fees. Then also, for the past 10 years now, they did not increase anything in their own aspect. And everything keep on increasing. And we are blaming them. We are going against them. It's not their fault. It's from the government. You understand me? It's from the government. Because when the government, if I explain how much they are collecting before, now we expect them to collect the same amount. And we are calling for good service. They import their goods in dollar. How much is dollar? So everything starts. What are we looking when the subsidy gone? Nobody rise up. I mean, when the electric tariff go up, nobody talk. Now the telecommunication say they want to increase their own tariff. We are complaining. Everything is from the government.
All right, thank you very much for your comment there. Okay, yes, you can still send in your message on WhatsApp 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 0927. Michael Adebayo from Apapa. I didn't get your message there. It says, okay, it said the situation of the increment tariff of telecommunication is the situation of Nigeria. It is not good. All right, saying it is not good right there. Okay, the true test of leader, this is coming from, you didn't put your name. You said, good morning, crew. Beautiful. The true test of a leader is to lead right in front and be responsible when things go wrong. Leaders is for action and not excuses. A true leader should listen to the people and change the obnoxious policies they created that has turned the people to beggars and almajiri in the midst of plenty. People's dignity was trampled upon. Rather, it was justifying. 90 died in tanker explosion in Niger State. That is why we are in this nightmare. Looking at this year, they are increasing tariffs on data and other communication means. Soon, PHCN will increase theirs too. It shows this government is there to exploit the people and not to serve. This means that our president said in Ghana is based on falsehood and propaganda. Is not practicing what he's preaching. Comrade, what do you have to say about all of this?
Yeah, government should tread very, very carefully. Government should tread carefully and softly, because there is a limit to what the people can take. Endurance. When you are enduring a situation, you endure. It's like when you are being pushed to the wall. Sometimes there could be some kind of reactions. And those reactions could be due to frustration, depression, so many other things put together. And when in all this that we are saying and we are looking at, and people have been taking so much of heat, and people have been taking so much of, I could say that government insensitivity, and to some extent, people can no longer continue to endure those kind of situations. There could be some kind of reactions that I don't pray for and nobody prays for. So government and those who are representing us, those who are at the helm of affairs, they should begin. This is another year that we've been praying, that last year was so tight and so hard for Nigerians, and government promised us that the years ahead, things will begin to relax. And it's like the rope that was so tightened last year, 2024, will begin to see relaxation on those ropes. This is not the kind of governance or government they promise us when they campaign to take the leadership positions. But what we witness and we see through the successive administration is not what Nigerians deserve. What we deserve a quality life. We deserve a right and privileges that has been withdrawn from us. And in fact, the little privileges and rights that remain, government still want to, abrogate and take everything off us, so that we not have any rights, we not have any privileges that we enjoy as a citizen, a bona fide citizen of this country. Is it not a thing of a shame to us? And that is why countries that are even very, very low in standard to this country, they no longer respect us. They don't respect Nigerians. They don't respect the country. They look at us as just big for nothing. That we are just, by mouth claiming that we are giants without anything to show. We went to Republic of Benin. That is just the whole country put together. Is not even up to a state in Nigeria. And you won't believe it that their money, that is their currency, is even now better than Nigerian currency. Before, when you take a little of our currency to Republic of Benin, you use it to pack and buy so many things. But now, reverse is the case. The same thing in Ghana, the same thing in Togo. In fact, in Republic of Benin, before they receive our currency, they respect Nigerian money. But now, when you pass through the place or you go there, they don't, they they don't like to even
Yeah, one sefer
accept
is about
Nigerian
three
currency.
three Nigerian
So it's all
naira.
about the functions of the leadership.
Hmm.
And we are talking about the administration that let them provide a directional leadership that will not push Nigerians into Nigerians are already in a state of, confusion, depression, stressed. So they should not continue to provide leadership that will make Nigerians to, react violently, and that is what we call revolution. Nobody prays for it to happen, but the level at which you endure some very harsh situation, it has a level that your body can take some, situation, and then you begin to react.
We obviously
So
don't pray for a
nobody
revolution.
wants Nigeria to turn upside down. We
Yeah.
also like to enjoy some kind of level of peace, but let our leaders provide leadership that will grant or sustain the peace that we have in this country. Those who are riding bulletproof cars at the detriment of other Nigerians that you leave us, to seek for security of our lives and properties. Someone just, mentioned about the farmers. People want to farm. We want to go to the farm now. We have seen it that there is nothing that we can do now than to go back to the farm.
Even
but
the farm is not
are
secured.
these forests and the farms, are they safe?
That's the thing.
Are they safe? Are they safe from the herdsmen, the Fulani herdsmen? Are they safe from marauders? Are they safe from the night marauders? Are they safe from kidnappers? Are they safe from people of low virtue? People that have come back from Nigeria, from diaspora. You ask people to come back home. To come back to what exactly? They want to come back to come and invest, to come and farm, to come and add. But by the time they come to come and
the other day you saw how they fought
the
video. I mean, over this kind of statement. I don't know if you follow that trend the other day when they fought this Nigerian musician David, the video over this national trend that Nigeria is not safe doing business and all of this. I'm just in addition to your comment about diaspora coming back home, doing one or two things and all, where the Nigerian government had faulted, David, the Nigerian musician. Why he would make such statements, in a global stage like that, to say that diasporas should not come back home to do things. But he said he was just saying the truth about it. But then Nigerians are fighting that. I mean, you just need to, all of this shenanigans are just too much. And
well, let me tell you, sometimes the truth, sometimes it sounds like a bitter pill for people to swallow. So, it doesn't still add up to the fact that to a reasonable level, we still have a level of insecurity in the country. If there is no level of insecurity, there is a particular region where the people have been dislodged. And those regions are those regions where they are the food basket of the country, where people like to farm. And they enter the farm, they have to pay some royalty to those terrorists. They have to pay them before they enter the farm. And even oh my God. This is a country that we need the intervention of God Almighty. We need orientation for every one of us to have a rethink that we want this country to survive. We don't want Nigeria to go down, and everybody should begin to put aside all our selfish interests, all our ethnicity interests. We begin to put every other interest aside and think about when an American person wakes up, they say, God bless America. Can a fraction of Nigeria or percentage of Nigeria wake up and say that God bless Nigeria? Even if we have to knock this administration on the head, what of the successive administration? Have they ever done anything? They drove us to this stage that we find ourselves in this country. But this administration, current administration, we know. And they said it that they know that it's not going to be easy, what they are going to meet on ground. And yet they don't want to expose themselves. So many of the resources of this country is in the hand of many of those people in the last administration, how many of them have been prosecuted? How many are rotting in jail? If all of them tried the nonsense they tried during the last administration in China or in Thailand or in some countries, Singapore, Malaysia, they will have passed some judgment, death sentence on them.
Even the president of South Korea right now he's been arrested. I mean, South Korean president due to any of this theft.
No matter your gender, whether you are a female gender or you are a male gender, they don't care. If you try to, steal from the people, the commonwealth of the people, but in Nigeria, they do it with impunity.
So
so much of carelessness.
So how are you guys?
And that is what we are talking about. If Emefiele is carrying Bible around, God punish devil.
So how are you guys pushing?
And many of all those Emefieles that we still have, and government is not trying to expose them. Our National Assembly, everybody is keeping mute. It's still the same kind of corruption passing around everywhere.
But how is the NLC pushing the government to do the right thing? Because sometimes the people, the masses, depends on you, to take steps, bold steps. So how is the NLC, pushing the government to take the right step?
Yeah,
you guys, the NLC is right now clamoring for the resignation of the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu. But then, how far can the NLC go? Can the NLC push it to the point where the Minister of Power resigns? Has any person ever resigned in even Nigeria? But for any government officials, have they even resigned in Nigeria?
In most of the instances, when Labour is pushing for a just cause, some people, because of the politics and because of the religion and so many ethnicity and so many things that have divided us, many people will begin to look at it on a different perspective. Something that does not happen in advanced countries or some developed countries, but in this our own climate or our own country, we look at it in another, perspective. So if you are bringing up a budget or a budgetary provision of the discourse and Genco that you have already sold the energy of Nigeria, it's in the hand of the private sector. And yet you are making budgetary provision. Why are you budgeting for something that is not yours again? You say you are not the owner. You have sold. Those people that bought it, they have paid you money. You move on. Or government go and create their own again, another one again, or what? And you are still, every year, you still continue to make budgetary provision. And then to rub insult on the injury already. You are now making budgetary provision of $8 million. For
electricity,
for sensitization. Who are you sensitizing? Don't we know that our energy is fraught with fraud or corruption? Geregu issue is there. Who is talking about it? Who is penalizing or who is prosecuting who? Some people are just more than law in the country, and they do things with impunity. But when Labour is talking and we are objective in our criticism, we demand that Nigerians also support, because at the end of the day, it's only the Labour that live in Nigeria. We that we are criticizing. Are we only the one that this government insensitivity will affect? It's all Nigerians. So if we are making